I had the opportunity while I was a graduate student here to participate in a field experiment supported by NASA, and the experiment was in Key West, Florida. And me and a couple other members of the research group went to Key West, and we participated in the activities there, which included flying various instruments through cirrus clouds, radars and radiometers, and we actually got to look at some of the data as it came in and do some analysis on it. Well, I did get to meet a lot of people in the field, people whose names I'd seen on research papers, and it was good to actually get out and meet some of these people and make connections. I think that was probably one of the most exciting parts for me.
For my master's program at CSU under Dr. Stevens, I'll be retrieving liquid cloud water from a passive microwave sensor, and in doing so I'll be able to develop an algorithm where I can retrieve this from both a passive microwave and an active microwave sensor or a radar. And this way I'll be making the very first one that's out there.
Yeah, I think we're coming to understand now that to study problems like global warming, some of these big problems, global warming or the ozone hole, and some of these big problems that are affecting all of us, we need to sort of get a handle on global data sets, and the only way to do that is by looking at the Earth from satellites. And so, Graeme, right, sort of has got his finger on the pulse there as far as that's concerned. A lot of NASA's funding right now is going into developing algorithms to look at things like clouds and rainfall and things that we just can't measure from the ground.
I think it's definitely an advantage having a large research group, just enough people to ask questions to, or there's expertise in a lot of the little nuggets of the field, I suppose. So if you have a question or a problem with your research, I think the answer will be found within the group, which is a lot easier.
Yeah, I think one of the major reasons I actually did get the NASA fellowship was the coursework, the stuff I learned through here, and also while working with Graeme. Graeme has very good ideas about what's needed to be done in the atmospheric sciences, and so basically he steered my NASA fellowship project, my topic, in the right direction, so that when I submitted it I had a much better chance than if I had just kind of come in and thought up my own topic.
People that I worked with at the weather agency, other contractors who were involved in development of meteorological algorithms from AER Corporation and some other things like that, aerospace, have heard of the program here. They've heard of lots of other programs too. I think they know that CSU is really well funded and has a lot of really good research programs going on. The CloudSat program that Graeme Stevens is in charge of involves some people that actually are stationed out at the weather agency. And so it's kind of a small world because a lot of the people are interrelated in a lot of things. And so
I wanted to work with Dr. Stevens because he does all this great work in remote sensing, working with the satellites, retrieving cloud water, all this great stuff that I would like to do when I finally get out.
Actually, one of my reasons for choosing CSU to begin with was the fact that I know Graeme Stevens is sort of well known in the area of teaching radiative transfer and remote sensing, and so I wanted to see if I could get some of that experience too. And actually throughout my time here, probably dating back to my second or third year as a PhD student, I've had the opportunity to go ahead and give lectures in all of his classes. In fact, he encourages that as much as possible, and I think it's been a great experience for me.
Advisor Graeme does a lot of the same work that I was interested in, which is in remote sensing and radiative transfer, and he was actually probably the main reason I came here, because I did receive an offer specifically from Graeme.
I had heard of Dr. Stevens' generalized CloudSat program. He's pretty famous, I suppose, within the community, so getting to work with him was quite a privilege and a big part of me coming here.
Graeme's a great guy to work for. I mean, he's very well known. He's incredibly well respected. He has lots of ties and everything.
I looked at some other schools. I liked CSU the best because I was impressed with their program, the quality of the program, the faculty, and when I came to visit, I felt like they were really interested in me and took the time to answer questions that I had. And some of the other places I went to kind of, they answer your questions and they rush you out the door and that sort of thing. And so I really felt like this was the best fit.
And it's a competitive degree that gets you out into the field and gets you a good job somewhere. The department helps quite a bit. Just the connections, the professors they have here, the programs, kind of research that's available here, the things you can do here at CSU make it a competitive degree, so that the research and the time you spend here and what you do here makes you a competitive candidate for a job.